I appreciate you clicking on this video and being like, yo, she's uploaded another video, let me check out. Thanks. I want to start this thing where I shout out people on the, in the comment section down there. And today's lucky, actually the pioneer of this is Joy Sam. So shout out to you, Joy Sam. By the way, as usual, I'm still gonna apologize each and every time because there's noise. So there's like a kindergarten school out here and they're on break. Today is your lucky day because I have not one, not two, the least 20 times. Call your friends, call your mother, call your neighbor, call everybody, just sit down and relax. I tried saying the story while looking at the lens because I've been told that I should look at the lens so that you can feel like I'm telling you the story, Yani Huko face to face. But it's really hard because I'm used to looking at the camera here. But please bear with me because when I do get a new camera, it's obviously not gonna be seeing myself, so we're not going to have this issue. So for now, just Kazana too. So this story time happened last year around this time. I want to say like around October, November, somewhere there. Where my family friends, aka my little sis, aka my honey bun, Terry, aka Priscilla, aka Tiffany, aka she gonna whoop my ass for calling her all those names, but I love you, honey. So she messaged me on WhatsApp and she's like, yeah, I'm going to be coming to the UK. So we arranged for a day. Obviously a day, I guess I didn't have class. We're going to meet like in the morning and just spend like the whole day, just maximize on our time together. So she said I should meet like before. Me at first I was like, yeah, let's meet at like 1. She's like, nah, bitch, you come at 10:30. I woke up in the morning, duh, got to the train station. Mind you, this is extra information. Me, I'm a nocturnal animal. I sleep like at 3, 4, doing my thing, and then I'll wake up like at 10:30, 11. I'm not a morning person, I'm more like a night owl. So again, I slept late and then I had to wake up early. So I did have like a sleep desk that was just there lingering. So when I got on the train, I was sleepy. And thank God London was the last stop. Because sometimes I'm getting ahead of this story I'm about to tell you. So London was the last stop. So I knew if I sleep, I should be fine. It's gonna take me like 1.5 hours. Pause. So when I woke up, I'm there shaking my phone. And I'm like, shit, this bitch didn't charge. Didn't charge. So I said, cool, I'm gonna carry my charger and I'll charge my phone on the train. Obviously, as if fate is ever on my side. The train that I was on or that I was taking it's the ones that didn't have sockets. So this shit wasn't going to charge. So I said, fine, guess I will charge it when I meet Thierry. Cool. No problem, I just won't use it on the train. So back to now the train, I've sat down, I found my spot. Train and showers is where I make my life decisions. Get to London, I message Terry and I'm like, yeah, I'm in London now. I was using Google Maps, typed in the address. Mind you, at this time my battery is like at 50-55%. Typed in the address and it was about 13 minutes away. My battery should survive. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm hinting at what the happened. So I'm now using Google Maps. One, I don't know why that day Google Maps was just being a piece of shit. I walked around this place twice. Mpaka even the second time when I was walking, there was a security guard at this like local store, and he was just smiling at me, looking down, making it seem like I'm out here walking to come and see him. And I'm like, lol, bitch, I'm lost. When I'm lost and I'm using Google Maps, do you know, you can't tell on my face. My face shows like I know where the I'm going. That time Google Maps is like, turn left, bitch, recalculating. And I kept taking the wrong turn over and over again. I'm like, and I don't want to stop and show people that I don't know where I am, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be like a target and things like I'm always suspicious. Finally, I get my bearing right and I'm on the right path here with Google Maps. Comes out that 12 minutes have passed, I have 12 more minutes to go, 11 more minutes to go. You know what I'm saying? We're just walking there side by side. The road was empty, which I find weird because London, like every part of London, is always so noisy. Then it shows, okay, you're like 9-8 minutes away. Guess what happens? Guess what happens? My battery dies. I'm just walking like this at you. Blank screen. Breathe. So I didn't stop walking. I just kept walking straight. I just continued walking at the same pace I was walking at, putting myself in even more deeper and deeper into this city I don't have the bearing of. So I tried to put it back on because it was on 50%. I'm like, where the f could you be dead at 50%? I try to put the phone back on, and then it shows 10%. And I'm like, what the? Even before I finished putting in my postcode, it went to 5%, 1% off. Let me go back to Coventry, and then tell Thierry that I was in London, and then my phone died. That's why I went back to Coventry. I'm like, I could charge my phone somewhere, but where am I going to charge my phone? Like London's interesting because you can walk on one side and it's looking like posh and you're seeing like fancy houses, and the next street you're just like, oh, what where are we? People coming out, and I don't know what they were zipping in their tracksuit. Another one is in a car, one of the windows are tinted so dark, there's smoke coming out of the car, and I'm like, oh, like what's going? Am I witnessing anything illegal right now? And I feel like I was standing out like a sore thumb. Sorry about that noise. And as much as this point I like saying at the I had a strong face, I was scared. I'm telling you, I was scared because every time I read these newspapers and read things about crime to things happening, it's always in this scarcity. Always, and in the morning, I know why people always have energy in the morning to come stabbing people. There I am walking. At some point, I'd even reached like a main road. And the good thing is, when I'd seen like before, you know, when you're using Google Maps, you never think to look of at you, oh, this is where I am, this is where I'm going. Let me follow, let me see, and then put off my phone. Like I used to be the type, at least now I used to be the type, I'm following Google Maps as we're going. So I don't know if there's a turning. I only know there's a turning when we get there, but I never check in advance. So thank God I checked a bit and I knew it was somewhere on my left. But the number of turnings on my left, so I just kept walking randomly. I'd walk up, I'd walk down. One of there was a DHL guy. I was like, should I ask him to charge for me my phone? Hi. And then he knows that I'm not from here. Don't be ridiculous. At the end of the day, I need to charge my phone either way. So I said I was going to ask someone somewhere. I didn't know where. I just knew I was going to ask someone to charge my phone. So at some point, walking, trying to figure out which house it is. Mara, I'm turning left. I'm trying to remember the name of the hotel that he has told me. You know, these two small. I'm trying to even remember the address. I remember like part of the postcode. So postcodes have like 6 digits and letters, like mixed with like digits and letters. So I'd remembered part of that postcode for London. I'd remembered EW something else. So just those 2 parts. But the thing was, I feel like this side of the street was EW. All of them were EW, basically. So my hand confused me when I said shit. I'm trying to remember the name of the hotel. I can't remember. I just thought there was an M somewhere. And then I felt like if I read the name, I'll remember the address. But there were a couple of hotels, then some looked like restaurants. Then I passed this apartment, or it looked like an office, but there was someone in the reception. There's a lady in the reception. Ask her if you can just charge your phone and then just be easy. You have nothing to lose. So I said, cool. You see that those receptions that they have to open for you, you have like, you need a pin to like enter and then do the thing. So I knocked on the glass window. Hi, how can I help you? Hi, excuse me, I'm not from around here. My phone just died. Could you please charge it for me? Yeah, sure. Come in. She charged it for me and she told me I can sit somewhere in the reception. And yeah, so I just sat down. Now the thing was, there was no clock. I didn't have any form. I don't have a watch. And then there was no clock. My iPod had also died. So I didn't know how long was too long. Like I'd be sitting, then I'm like, I feel like I've sat for long. Then I'm like, no, don't go and check because it could be like you know how in the gym you feel like, wow, I've been here for 10 minutes. Then you look down at the treadmill and it's like, oh, okay, just 25 seconds. Okay, so I said, let me just chill. So I read the magazines. I read about entrepreneurs in London. I read about the stock rate. I read about fitness. 10 things you need to know for the summer. I read about interior designing. And then I took another magazine. I'm there flipping. There was one that they had for Nat Geo. I read about lions. I read about giraffes. And eventually I'm like, okay, now let me go ask her for my phone. And I feel like I should be close. All I'm going to do is literally look at the map, look at the street and the roads and memorize where I'm supposed to be going. And I should be good. I go and I ask her if it's charged. She presses it, as she's giving it to me, I'm just seeing there 50%. And I'm like, shit. Now I look like I'm lying. was showing 50%, but I swear it was like on 1. Thank you very much. I'm walking out, I turn left. Mind you, this is the same thing that I do, the one of Jifanyang, like I know where I'm going. So I turn left with purpose. I'm there. I do my Google Maps, and then I realize I should have turned right. So I turn right again, and now I'm passing her building, and I'm like, thanks. I feel like my guardian angel was just out here having a laugh, because you know where Teresa's hotel was. Like, if I was here, her hotel was like there. I was literally up the road. All I needed to do was just walk a little bit more, and then I would have gotten to her hotel. You know how people say everything happens for a reason? I don't understand what the reason for this was, but I guess just to talk. Maybe that I needed to talk to that girl, or I needed to read the National Geographic book. So I messaged her, and I was just hoping that they haven't left, because I've taken like about an extra hour. How of you guys this time? I hope you guys have not waited for too long. I hope, as in, bruh. It's like, yeah, they were just upstairs, and then I went and I met them, and I'm like, even you don't know what I've been through. The second story time as well, either happened last year or this year. I'm not sure which. I think it was maybe early this year or late last year. Again, the train. I was coming from London, and it was like at about, I want to say like 9, 8, and it was going to take me again about 1.5 to 2 hours to get back. I was so sleepy. Do you know when you're sleepy, you're just like this? I was sleepy. And then Coventry wasn't the last stop. Coventry was like, the train was passing through Coventry. It wasn't like the previous one where London's the last stop. So I was like, shit, I don't want to miss my stop. I'm there, I'm Kazanine with sleep, I'm fighting. And I said, okay, let me just sleep for a bit. I should be fine. So every time I slept, so I'd sleep, then I wake up like that, and everyone in the train would be looking at me. I remember there was this family who was sitting like this way, and they kept looking back at me, and I'm like, yeah, I've had a long day and I'm tired. You know, you guys are 4. You can sleep in shifts. Me alone. I'm seeing stressed, tafadhali, please. So again, I said that, like, you know that when you think you're blinking, but bitch, you're sleeping. Me, it felt like a long blink. It's only when I opened my eyes, I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't blinking. Literally, I slept. Yeah. So we're like a couple of stations before Coventry, and I'm there, I sleep. I'm like this, looking outside. My eyelids are getting heavy. Wow, that dream is sweet. And I wake up quickly. When I wake up, the train has stopped, and it's just waiting. So I'm just stopping, and I'm waiting for it to move. I'm like, hey, okay, it's not moving. Which station are we in? By the time I look, I'm looking around. I'm seeing people standing up. They've left. They're picking their bags. For some reason, everyone just kept looking at me. I know why. Because I kept waking up like so embarrassing. Has that ever happened to you? That's happened. Pause. Like that. Has that ever happened to you in class? There's this time in class. Guy. Hey! Because it was those 3 hours. Like, all my lectures in my master's were 3 hours. And again, I had slept late, and this I think was like at 9 a.m. Economics. Wah. I just did. But that's how you know the sleep is down. You know that she can't see. Finally read the sign that says what station we're in, and it was Nunnington. Okay, let me just tell you what the lady normally when she's like, next stop is Nunnington. That's what they say. Nunnington. I'll put the name here and you can have a go. So got to that station, and I'm trying to remember, mind you know that kind of thing when you have like your sleepy brain. They call it, I was gonna say pregnancy brain, but I don't know what pregnancy brain feels like. And I'm just there trying to figure out. I was like, is Nunnington before or after Coventry? We passed Coventry. What? So I stand up quickly, and then I get out of the station, and I'm just hearing this guy shouting from far. Hey! Me, do I look like the type I'm about to turn? Because I feel like the hey here is the equivalent of in Kenya. So me, I'm not about that time. Do I look? Where? And I'm looking around me, and I'm saying, it could be me he's talking to, because there's no one else around me. So let me just hear what this guy has to say. So when I turn, he's like, why have you taken so long to get out? Why have you taken so long to get? His shock was his far. He's shouting, sorry. And I just turned and went upstairs, and he was mumbling like some random shit. I couldn't even hear what he's saying. So what had happened, what they do on the train is before the driver leaves, he looks to see if there's anyone coming in. But because they had waited, because it stopped for some time, because he had stopped for such a long time, he wasn't expecting someone to get out of the train. He was waiting for people to come in, because obviously if you're coming out at Nannington, you should have already checked, because we've been here for 10 minutes. Easily he could have gone to Manchester or wherever else he was going to, you know what I'm saying? And it would have been a worse story time, like the next one we're getting to. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sorry. It doesn't end there. So now I have to figure out how to get back to Coventry. Like Coventry to Nannington took about 20 minutes. Finding the train, issue number 1. So I found the train and I found my platform. Cool. Issue number 2. Do I have to buy another ticket? Because me, I bought a ticket. Coventry to London, London to Coventry. 1 second. Yeah?
White color sweater. Hi everybody.
Hey.
You have a white color sweater.
I have a creamish one.
That'll go with this. Anything that'll go with this.
I think that's okay. Do I have to buy another ticket? Great. And I know, when you buy tickets live, more often than not, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I get on the next train and I just say a little prayer and I'm like, dear God, I just hope there's no one to check tickets, because sometimes they don't check for your ticket and you can get away with not actually having a ticket. So I said, instead of buying one, let me just see. If they catch me, then I guess I'm just going to have to buy the ticket like at whatever price they're selling at now. I think it was going to be like about, please, anything, even if it was 1 pence. I was still going to feel pain. Got into a train and then we're not too many, just a few people. And it's normally a small carriage. So I'm like, would they really have someone checking for tickets? And even last time when we were on this train, like the 2 previous times I'd been on that train, no one had checked. So I'm just like, guy. And then it's late at night. I'm like, they're not going to check. I'm like, okay, 5 minutes past, good, 15 more. Okay, 13 more. Okay, 10. We're halfway through. Then I see this mama from far asking for tickets. Let me tell you what I decided. I said, hopefully by the time she gets to me, we're in Coventry. And let me not lie to you, I'm just going to run. I'm going to get off this train and act like I'm deaf. Play with me. I'm going to get off this train, act like I'm deaf, and I don't know how to speak English. Taongea na Kiswahili, na Gikuyu, na diraiwa kedo. Noraiwa, niyo dioe, morauga ke, dire na besha, morad ke, vimo. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna act hella dumb. So unfortunately, we were not many on this train. So by the time she got to me pretty fast. She had one guy she was doing, and then there was someone else who was sitting here, and then now me. So she does that guy. I even had contemplated walking to the back and hiding. But this, I'm telling you, it's 1 carriage. 1. So where am I running to? There are no toilets even. So I said, let me just sit here. And then, wow, how could I have forgotten? It smelled so bad, I couldn't even sleep. Kwanza, even that sleep that I had from before went. Then she gets to me and she's like, I overslept and then I missed my stop. That's why I got here off at Nannington, but then I was supposed to get off at Coventry. So I just took the next train back. So I don't have a ticket. So I showed her the ticket on my phone and she's like, oh no, that's okay. It's the same company, so you're fine. I serve a living God. The last final story time. The icing on the cake. The cherry on top. That's all I have. Let's move on. And this final one happened in July, mid-July. Again, I went to London. Everything, it's funny how everything happens when I'm going to London. Yet, I was like, yeah, I want to move to London. And here I am living in London, but I don't think anything has anything. Story for another day. One of my friends was also in London, so I was like, yeah, we should meet up for the day, meet up for lunch and just do something, and then I can go back to Coventry. Well, let me fast forward to the evening. Basically, we watched a movie at about 7 o'clock and it finished We watched, why am I saying watched a movie like we didn't watch the movie? We watched Incredibles 2. Do you know how long I had been waiting for Incredibles 2? Like, if you're, please, yeah, raise up your hand in the comment section if you are waiting for Incredibles 2 like me. So I finished watching Incredibles 2 and it was about like 9:30ish. And the thing, I normally buy open return. So open return is like you buy a ticket going and then you can come back within a month from wherever. Like I bought to London, so that means I could come back from London within a month. So essentially that whole day I could come back whatever time. I did not register that these trains are not 24/7 and there's a last train that will leave London and then the next one will be like in the morning. Me sikufikiria, I completely forgot. Me, I was out here thinking like, oh, Your Majesty, these trains are gonna be 24 hours now. So when the movie finished, because it was so far, it just took me like about an hour to even get to Euston Station. It's about 10:14, honestly around 10:50. That station was hella empty. That was my first, you know, the way you can feel your chest go like that, because it's normally so busy. This station is always packed, and packed with so, I was gonna say packed with so many people. Of course, packed with so many people, hotels would be packed too, but it's always packed. And the fact that when people like scattered, I was finding that weird. And then it dawned on me it's because it's the evening. So I said, cool, maybe people are asleep or something. Stupid. So I look at the board that shows the next trains and where they're stopping, blah blah, and it only had two. I look for whether any of them are stopping by Coventry. No, they're not. But you know what they are? They're stopping at the town or city before or after. So I said, fine, at least let me take one and stop either like before or after Coventry, but let me make moves, you know, at least let me not be waiting here in London. As usual, when things like this happen in my life, I just call the love of my life, Ndereni, Miss Ndereni, he all sings what's up. Ndeteni, to be honest, I'm just calling Ndereni just for extraness. For those of you who may connect, I didn't call the friend who I had left with, because we had a kind of disagreement that we're not about to start discussing here. You just know we had a disagreement, so I was not going to call her. And I had another friend who was in London. I can't remember. I remember thinking about calling her, and then I called Michelle, and then I think I forgot. I had an assignment that was due the day after the next day. Yeah, the day after the next day, and so that's why I needed to go back to Coventry and basically do this assignment from scratch. Okay, not really from scratch. I had like an idea in my head and I had done a bit of research. I just needed to type out all that I've done and all that's in my head. And that was going to take a hot minute. That's why I didn't want to stay, because I knew if I stayed, then that means I'll get to Coventry later. And I need to get to Coventry, sleep. And for the next 2 days, I was just planning to hibernate and do my assignment back to back to back to back. That's how we discussed that I should take the train and at least get closer to Coventry. The next train, mind you, now it's like at around 11 o'clock. The next train was at about, I want to say 12:30, but I don't know why 107 keeps hitting in my head. And then the next one was in the morning at 5:37, and I'd end up in Coventry at 6:30, which defeats the purpose of my whole plan. You know how when it happens and you're there reminiscing about, okay, why did I do it the day before yesterday? Tere, the girl who I talked about in the first video, she links me up with a series. Thank God at this time I already had a portable charger and I had my headphones. Thank you, Jesus. Hey, Abu, let's look at the blessings here. At least, you know what I'm saying? So then I just went upstairs, started talking to Michelle. She was getting her hair done, so I was just there keeping her company. Just our usual FaceTime calls. We just like having each other in each other's company virtually. Long distance relationships. They're so hard. My train comes at about, I want to say 1 something. I feel like it was 1. But this train wasn't going to Coventry. So I was going to get off at the stop before Coventry and then get the train in the morning at around 5:37 to Coventry. And that would take me around another hour. Great. Just fantastic. I was in for a long night. Mind you, because I had my visa appointment in the morning, and I had slept late, like at 3-4 as usual, and woken up early. there's like a sleep date, and I'd done that for a couple of days because we are always having assignments and things due that month. So I was always tired 24/7. That's what, once in July, I feel like it just passed. I don't understand what happened. That's when I really felt it. I really felt, yani, hii masters tunafanya ya ukweli na tutamaliza tu hivyo vivyo kwa sababu I can't drop out. You know what I mean? I can't, but all I wanted to do was sleep. You know what I'm saying? I just asked for the basic things and I can't sleep early. I don't know why I can't sleep early. This night I asked for something because, hey, I'm a good one. Hey, when I almost felt like crying because I was thinking, hey, fake it till you make it. I was going to cry for real. Dang! 107 train. Took me, this was the slow one, so it took me about an hour to get to Milton Keynes. I'm not gonna sleep, bish. Me, I learned. And I knew I'm going to put an alarm. If it makes noise for everyone else, ni sawa. Better that price than to wake up in, I don't know, this way, I think it was when going to Manchester. Wore my headphones and I wasn't sleepy. I think I was scared. Okay, I've been traumatized. I was scared from having missed my stops a couple of times before. And also because it was 1 o'clock. I stayed awake, got to Milton Keynes, got out. Many of us got out. Like, I've heard of Milton Keynes, but I've never ever stopped there, passed by there with the train. But I've never been. So this was new for all of us. Get to the station. The good thing about this story time today is that I have footage because I took videos that whole night. Get to Milton Keynes. Probably like, let's say around 2. I want to say 2:15. At this point, I was hella hungry. Where am I eating from? Please tell me. It's pitch black. I don't know where the closest food is. Like, the thing I think I can get is probably like Domino's. I called my brother. Okay, my brother. It's so funny how he's younger than me, yet nowadays he's the one like taking care of me. It feels nice, but I just find like, wow. So I called him and I explained to him the situation. But me, I was telling him the ones of I'm gonna be here for the whole night if you actually want to keep me company. So I finished the story and he's like, okay, you do this, you get an Uber and I'll send you cash and you can pay for it. And I said, okay, no, it's okay. You just save your cash. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Because I didn't want him to spend. It was going to cost him like about £50. I was like, it doesn't make sense. It's okay. Let me just wait for 3 hours. And yeah, I'm the one. It's my fault. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it's okay. Just save that cash. You can buy me a pizza sama. Hey. This guy owes me a pizza. Wow. Hey. Hold up, I'll text him after this. He owes me a pizza. When can I have this pizza? How can I have forgotten? We just talked for like about 30-40 minutes. And obviously because he has a life. Because everyone else has a life. He also had to leave. And there was again just sitting in this station, waiting. In this like stations, you're not supposed to stay overnight. So even I was sitting, I was like, fuck, these guys can easily chase me out. Because I've been chased from a station before. Another time I was waiting in St. Pancras because like shit had happened. And then they were closing the station and they sent me to another station. They told me to go to another station 7 minutes away or to wait outside. So I knew even here I'm going to be chased at some point because it's about 2 o'clock and you know what I'm saying. There were trains that were arriving and you just see like people coming out, having fun. Like I was just like, guy, you tell me you're going home. Must be nice. There's this one drunkard that I don't know how he was even walking or alive. First of all, he was walking like this. Not like this at his Z. He was walking like this. And then he was just, he had mad hiccups. He didn't have shoes. He sits down and then lies down like this, like he's on a bed. So I think in his head he thought he was sleeping. He's sleeping. Then he wakes up. Then he looks around, but he doesn't look around. He's looking around like waved. At some point, this group of girls, wow, hey. Do you know beautiful women, ladies, young ladies? Hey, these girls were hot. They look like they were from, I don't know, some Ethiopia, Rwanda, Eritrea, I'm not sure. And the other problem is that they were mad loud, but at least they were keeping me awake because that voice, they were just shouting so much I couldn't even sleep. I was just alert. There's some two cops at some point who were just standing outside and talking to this guy, and then at some point this guy picked something, the cop picked something from the floor and was examining it, and then they walked a bit and they talked to other people. Like they looked like they were really investigating some crime that just happened. Better me in here than out there. In here the cameras, in here there's this cleaner as well. Then because these girls were making so much noise, I think it alerted like the guys who are cleaning or doing rounds. So he came and he asked them what time their train is, and they said like at around, I'm saying like 3:30ish, somewhere there. Then he came and also asked me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for the next train. The next train, bitch. The next train was like at 4:30. I'm waiting for the next train. You know what I'm saying? We have about 2 hours to kill. Let me watch some Netflix. I downloaded Netflix, logged into my account. That's the time. You see, I knew there was a series I was watching. What I say, that's why I hadn't done this essay. There's a series I was hooked to, Jane the Virgin. And do you know who told me? Tere had told me about it. When you haven't had enough sleep over time, and then there's normally I normally feel like a hormone, it gets released and you get high. I felt like I was high, and then I started feeling cold, so I was shivering. I know that I'm the only one who goes through this when I don't get enough sleep, when I stay up, like when I have a sleep debt, because I've not been sleeping well. Now this worker again came back after this lady has passed, in like an hour and a half had passed. This guy came back again and he asked me, he's like, what time is your train? I said, it's the next one. And he's like, hey, like, yeah, you've been sitting here for long. And I said, yeah, it's the one for 5:30. And he's like, oh, but he was nice. He just said, okay, yeah, just sit there, don't worry. If anyone disturbs you, just come and let me know. I'll be downstairs. But you should be fine. Just sit there. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I was just like, hey, at least there's some nice people. Now fast forward around 5, I'm like, guy, whew, I watched the sunrise. I watched people coming into work, people leave. Like I was just watching life happening. The train comes, and obviously again I'm gonna keep reinforcing the fact that I wasn't stopping at Coventry. So if I sleep, I was going to end up in Birmingham, which is about, I want to say 10-15 minutes away by the train. But who wants to go all the way to Birmingham in the morning and then have to come back down? Me, I just stuck or stress. I was struggling to stay awake. I was trying so hard to stay awake because I didn't want to sleep. And then I knew I can't sleep. You know, when your sleep is so deep, I won't be able to sleep as in a bit. If I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping. I knew if I sleep, I'm not going to be able to take a 15-minute, 30-minute nap. Me, if I'm sleeping, I'm going to sleep back out wherever this train goes to. We're going together. I felt like I was blinking, but only when I opened my eyes, I'm like, shit, I'm actually sleeping. Then it was the station now before Coventry, which is Rugby. It's about like 10-15 minutes before now Coventry. So we go to Rugby and I'm like, okay, just 10 minutes, stay awake. Next thing you know, we got into Coventry. I got up so fast, but then because of, I don't know, I'm telling you, I was high as fuck at this point. So I got up so fast and then I sat down and then I got up again. Then I went to open the door. The door isn't opening. So I ran across to the other side to try and open the door. I was looking drunk because I'm wobbling. I'm not even walking straight. Open the door and I jump off. And then I get off the platform and I'm walking out of the station. Thank God I lived like 8 minutes away from, I want to say like it was going to take me about max 10 minutes because of how I'm walking like I'm drunk to get home. And as I'm walking, from there, my shoe falls off and I'm like, I come back. I wear the shoe. I'm there. I walk again. Holding my phone. See, I'm holding my phone like this. I just did. Bah! That shit flew. I believe I can fly. I said, ni nini, nataka. What do you want? What do you want? Finally, I get to my flat. And I have this thing where I'm like, I was on a public train. I was sitting on this chairs, there's uchafu on my clothes. Then I bring that to my bed. Like my bed is my sacred home, and I feel like I just have this thing where you're not supposed to touch or put anything Like, usilete uchafu from outside to your bed. Yeah, even my own dad. It's not even other people. It's even mine. Like, even like the way I am like this. Whenever I've just showered and I've changed, and then I get on a bus, even if I get in a taxi or in my car, another car, my parents' car, or someone else's car, I'm not going to enter my bed. I'll have to shower first. So I showered, sleep disappeared. I knew it's just here. It just needs to be massaged kidogo, and then it's going to come. Eventually, I blacked out, and I did my assignment. And here we are now. And I passed. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure it's going to be hella long, but you asked for long videos, so there you go. As usual, if you want to have a more intimate relationship with me, you know where to find me on Instagram at Swahula Kabutha and on Twitter at Swahula Kabutha. I hope you all have a fantastic day, evening, afternoon, life. Comment down below if you're the first viewer to watch and to click on this video. Now, msidanganya, don't lie. God is watching. God is watching. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I really, deeply, honestly appreciate it. Barikiweni, Milele na Milele. Sayonara. Bye. Where are you going? Where are you going? I have you watched all of them? You have. How many times? Thank you. Do the necessary. Cool. Appreciate it.